expensive to live in the White House.
Yeah.
As many people don't know. Sure. I mean, much is not covered.
Pre-presidency, 1.7. So expensive being at the White House. It was so expensive that our net worth went from 1.3 million to 12.2 million a year.
Our minds, we weren't raised with the certainty of maleness that, kind of the confidence that young men in their 30s have, which they haven't earned, they just have it.
Will the Dems ever win again, as long as they keep hating men?
What do you get when the queen of curated perfection collides with two of the most fearless voices in media? Michelle Obama just walked straight into a verbal buzzsaw, Greg Gutfeld's savage mockery, and Patrick Bet-David's cold, cutting logic. And what's left behind? Not elegance, not grace, just shards of a shattered reputation scattered across the internet.
It's expensive to live in the White House.
Yeah.
As many people don't know. Sure. I mean, much is not covered. You're paying for every bit of food that you eat. You're not paying for housing and the staff in it, but everything, even travel. If you're not traveling with the president, if your kids are coming on a Bright Star, which is the First Lady's plane, we had to pay for their travel.
The mask didn't just slip. It was ripped off. Every carefully scripted soundbite, every glamorized memory from the White House, torched. These two didn't analyze her legacy. They lit a match and watched the myth burn. This wasn't commentary. It was an execution. And the fantasy Michelle's PR team built for years, it may have just gone up in flames. For good. America has this weird addiction to turning public figures into sacred cows, people who rake in millions while pretending they're victims of the system.
Makes me think, and I'm speaking to men directly now, part of it makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president.
There you go. You're sexist. I'm surprised he didn't nag them for not knowing which was their shrimp fork. But Obama, shouldn't you be back on Martha's Vineyard, where the black population is roughly 3%? If he wanted to twist some arms, he should have sent Michelle.
And Michelle Obama, she didn't just join the club, she built the VIP lounge. She's not sipping from the fame fountain, she owns the pipeline. She's packaged herself as relatable, but let's be real. It's all glitter, gloss, and ghostwriters. Behind the scenes, it feels less like a public service icon and more like a billion-dollar brand machine on autopilot. And now, the marriage smoke is getting thicker. Separate events, snarky one-liners. That subtle, I'm doing me energy, it's giving soft launch divorce. Jada Pinkett playbook, page 1, distance, drip-fed drama, and a big reveal timed perfectly with a media drop. You know it's coming. Obama Split, the podcast exclusive. Greg Gutfeld and Patrick Bet-David didn't just throw shade, they torched the illusion. They pulled back the curtain and said, this isn't empowerment, it's elite theater. Because Michelle isn't silenced, she's syndicated. The only chains here are diamond-studded and PR approved. And the legacy? It's looking more like a marketing scheme in crisis mode.
Will the Dems ever win again, as long as they keep hating men? Our video of the day is a 2-for-1 man-haters special. First up, Michelle trashes dudes while urging women to act more like them.
They're always hedging. Because in the back of our minds, we weren't raised with the certainty of maleness that, kind of the confidence that young men in their 30s have, which they haven't earned, they just have it.
Greg Gutfeld didn't just show up, he detonated the conversation. No warm-up, no filter, just full-speed truth bombs. His take? Michelle Obama is the high-gloss sequel to Oprah that literally no one ordered, but the media keeps shoving down your throat anyway. She dishes out recycled wisdom like it's gourmet insight. Think soggy, self-help slogans reheated in a podcast studio, sprinkled with moral superiority and boxed in a faux humble package stamped for the people. And here's the real kicker. She's somehow flipped her elite resume, her luxury estate life, and those flawlessly lit photo ops into a narrative of constant struggle. As if being Michelle Obama is a daily uphill battle. The woman lives in multi-million-dollar serenity and still acts like she's fighting to be seen.
She's talking about women that we don't know. They're just saying like that men were super confident in their 30s. None of us were we were working our asses off. We didn't know what we were like pulling our hair out, drinking like drunken sailars. Boy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I just don't understand.
Michelle Obama has somehow turned global fame, nonstop praise, and multi-million-dollar deals into a burden. She's the only person who can drop a bestseller and still act like she's invisible. It's like watching a billionaire cry into a diamond-studded journal while a choir chants, "You're so brave." Now the whispers are growing. Michelle and Newsom 2028? Whether she's leading the charge or riding shotgun, the idea is being floated as unbeatable. But how does someone who constantly claims to be oppressed plan to lead the free world? Patrick Bet-David didn't just question the act, he tore it down. Her authenticity, it's not vulnerability, it's marketing.
2025. What is the net worth
It's got to
today?
be worth a couple $100 million. No?
It's two numbers. You see
There's
70 million to 250 million dollars. So 70 million to 250 million dollars. If you type in a couple other places, you'll see 100 million. You'll see 70 million. But you'll see a couple ranges. But let's just stick to the 70 million dollars. Pre-presidency, 1.7. So expensive being at the White House. It was so expensive that our net worth went from 1.3 million to 12.2 million 8 years.
Every pause, sigh, and staged anecdote is polished within an inch of its life, filtered through a dozen handlers, and wrapped in TED Talk aesthetics. And Gutfeld, he ripped the sparkle right off. Even her outfits are treated like political manifestos. She could wear a towel, and the media would declare it a revolution in terry cloth. Let's talk numbers. A $65 million book deal. A podcast with a $100 million push, yet barely any engagement. The audience isn't organic. It's curated, just like the brand. Because Michelle's greatest performance isn't behind a podium, it's the struggle cosplay. Lavish homes, elite circles, VIP everything, and still playing the misunderstood heroine in a cruel world that just doesn't get her. Patrick exposed the truth. She's not drifting near power, she's circling it, saying she doesn't want to run while dropping hints in speeches, headlines, and staged reluctance. It's not humility, it's marketing masked as modesty. Michelle Obama's brand stopped being about hope years ago. It's about control of image, narrative, legacy. And now, for the first time, that illusion might finally be showing its cracks.
Michelle thinks American men suck.
Let me warn you, your rage does not exist in a vacuum. If we don't get this election right, your wife, your daughter, your mother, we as women will become collateral damage to your rage. To the women listening, we have every right to demand that the men in our lives do better by us.
Greg Gutfeld didn't just criticize Michelle Obama, he detonated the myth. Once the graceful First Lady, she's now a full-blown motivational brand, serving life advice like luxury skincare, sleek, overpriced, and entirely disconnected from real life. Her speeches feel less like lived wisdom and more like A/B-tested slogans cooked up in a marketing lab. Michelle's not empowering anyone. She's soothing elite guilt. Her image is everywhere. On yoga retreat posters, whispered through diversity seminars, flashed in curated smiles that say, "Your privilege has been officially forgiven." And her obsession with inspiration, it's pure performance. Pinterest-level platitudes delivered with TED Talk flair. It doesn't uplift, it sells. Then Patrick Bet-David stepped in with a flamethrower. He didn't just question her influence, he exposed it as media-engineered vapor. Michelle's "I'm not running" routine is a carefully staged tease. The faux reluctance, the dramatic pauses, the emotional breadcrumbs. It's political theater, and she's the star director. She isn't avoiding power, she's orbiting it. Every headline, every vague quote is strategic. Michelle has become the political version of a movie trailer. All mood, no substance, designed to keep us begging for more. And those heartfelt moments, Gutfeld called them what they are: calculated PR, choreographed for applause. Her legacy isn't hope, it's control. Control of image, narrative, emotion, and maybe soon the Oval Office. Michelle isn't campaigning, she's letting the world campaign for her. And frighteningly enough, it's working. Ever hear someone try so hard to sound profound they loop back to nonsense? That's Michelle Obama, dropping TED Talk fluff like she's the Dalai Lama of daytime TV. And Greg Gutfeld, he didn't just notice, he dragged it under floodlights. Michelle's greatest struggle, apparently being too loved. Too many magazine covers, too many standing ovations, so much attention, it's traumatic. It's the most glamorous pity party in modern history. She claims invisibility while showing up more often than the Wi-Fi icon. Her brand is everywhere. In HR slideshows, school posters, Netflix thumbnails, selling sanitized inspiration like it's medicine for the masses. But challenge that myth, suddenly you're the villain. She's not just a former first lady, she's a protected empire, immune to criticism and soaked in billion-dollar branding. Patrick Bet-David saw through it. He exposed the Michelle machine. The vague quotes, the staged vulnerability, the strategic silence whenever 2028 chatter heats up. She says she's not running, but everything she does screams campaign in waiting. It's not authenticity, it's a blueprint in disguise. Michelle doesn't sell ideas. She sells herself. Packaged hope, mass-marketed empowerment, and feel-good fluff scripted to perfection. And when Obama himself chimed in with mumbling defenses, it only made the illusion look shakier. Greg and Patrick didn't roast her. They cracked the code. Behind every tear is a stylist. Behind every real moment is a publicist. The empire is polished, protected, and finally being questioned. The applause is thinning. The spell is fading. And when the curtain finally falls, we may not be clapping. If you don't want to miss out on fiery takedowns like these, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your support means a lot. Catch you next time.